Hello everyone, and welcome back to a very different video. As you can see, my nails have grown out quite a bit, so today I'll be taking these nails off and doing a new set. Here I'm just showing off all of my fancy nail gear. So I've got two nail files, one that is rechargeable and this one that is a plug-in. Then I've got a couple of different nail extensions to choose from, and I'll be using the Gelish kit to install these nails. But first, I gotta take these bad boys off. So I'm starting the soak off process with some acetone nail polish remover, and major thanks to Tony for bringing me extra foil. I love you, baby. And usually you're supposed to use cotton balls, but I don't have any, so I'm going to soak these nails off with paper towels and aluminum foil. But first things first, I need to put my mask on so that I can file as much of this nail off as possible to make the soaking process easier. So I'm going in with my grittiest file head and my corded file to get the top few layers of nail off before I start soaking. I try to file directly into the trash to minimize the cleanup process, and I'm just going to speed through this so that you can see I'm filing as much of the extension off as I can. And I've got to change the file head because I wore this one all the way down, and I still have one more hand to do. So I'll get the new gritty head and pop that on, and then we're back to filing the other hand. And this does take quite some time, so just kind of fly through that too. Now that I've got both hands filed down, I'm going to start this soak off process. So I've already ripped my foil and my paper towel into bits, and I'm just filling the cap with acetone so that I can dip the little paper towel squares into it. And then I set the soaked paper towel on top of my nail and wrap it in the foil. And I'm just going to speed through this whole process as well, because this does also take quite a good bit of time. And then once I have got all of the fingers covered, I try to wait about 10 minutes before I take off these foil wraps. Once I'm done waiting, I start taking off the foil wrap. I try to twist them off with a good amount of grip so that I can wipe off as much product off of my natural nail. And then once the foil is off, I usually dispose of it, and then I go in with my cuticle scraper and I try to scrape off any of the remaining product from my natural nail. And I'm just trying to get all of it off before I start the actual manicuring process.
This guy.
Now I'm just setting up to clean the rest of my natural nail. But first, I usually will just clip my nails down, especially because this time around they've grown out quite a bit. And then once I'm done clipping my nails, then that's when I start scraping away my cuticle edges with the dead skin fork. So I'm going to speed through this as well because it is a very grueling process. And once I finish getting all of the dead skin off around my cuticles, then I just like to clean up because I like to have a clean workspace. And once I've got my cuticles lifted and the dead skin scraped away, then it's time for me to start cutting the dead skin around the edges of my nails. I'm always extra careful with this part of the process because I don't want to cut my cuticles or dig in too deep, like into my nail beds. And then I just file the edges of my nails that I've just clipped so that they're nice and rounded. And once I am finished with the filing process, now I can go in with my cordless drill. I'm grabbing my metal cylinder head, which I'll use all around the cuticle area. And then I've also got the barrel ball top, which I'll use to clean the rest of my nails. And I just want to make sure that I've got off all of the leftover residue from my natural nails before I continue on with the manicure process. And so it is really important to get all the way around the cuticle and on the nail bed. Now that it's all clean, I would just like to wipe off and clean off all the dust from my fingers and my nails so that I can finally start this installation process. Before I can apply anything though, I do have to file the tops of my nails to make sure that they are rough and not smooth at all, because that will make the product stick a lot better and last a lot longer. So now, as you can see, I'm getting my nail surface cleanser and I am just cleaning all of that dust and residue off of my natural nails so that I can finally start applying this gel-ish set. So you can see they're very gritty, they're very, very rough looking. I'm pulling out the main components for this gelish application, which are the nail prep, the base coat, the top coat, and the cuticle oil, along with my LED light. And now it's time to pick which nail tips I want. So I can choose from long stiletto, medium almond, or medium coffin. And today I am going to pick the long stiletto. Usually I don't keep the original shape or the length of the nails that I choose, so they definitely won't be this long when I'm done. They probably won't be this shape either. And now I'm just fitting the nails onto each finger so that I can have them all picked out and ready for the application process. Now that I've got everything lined up, I am starting with my Gelish nail prep, which is basically just a dehydrator. It says pH bond. I used to use rubbing alcohol, but I feel like this works a lot better. And now I'm going to apply the extensions with the Gelish base coat, which is LED activated. And basically it acts as a glue, holding the extension onto your nail. So it's important to have those cuticles clipped because the goal is to fit this extension over your entire nail. And it should fit without hanging off the sides. So I just apply a thin layer of the base coat to my natural nail, and then I apply a small amount to the nail extension, and then I just put it under the LED light for about 10 to 15 seconds. It does cure pretty quickly, and I will say that this application period is probably the quickest part of the entire nail process, because just popping these nails on and then sticking them under the light for 15 seconds goes by very quickly. So this is what we are working with. They look very much like cat paws, but that's not what we're going to stick with. So it'll be a very nice quick transition from these to what we're going to be working with. So here I am actually starting to clean the extra gel off of the edges, because sometimes if I put a little too much, it might get up onto my nail beds, and you don't want to keep that on there, because then once you start painting it, and also once your nails grow out, it's just kind of gonna look really messy, and you want it to just be covering your nail. So I always just go through and clip off that little bit of excess. Now they should be nice and perfect. And now it's definitely time to shape them properly, because I don't want to keep them this long. So we are going to go in with the clippers. We're just going to clip all of these down, and the goal is to try to match the length. They don't have to be absolutely perfect on each side, but I do try really hard to match the length, because I do really like when they're just uniform. And usually for me, the easiest thing when clipping the other hand is to just match up both fingers. That way I can make sure that each hand has the correct size fingernail as the other hand, because I do want them both to just feel like they're the same on each side. So I always check to make sure, and then do a little extra clipping if I need to. But this is what we've got for the length. And now we are going to file to shape it. So I don't really love the boxy look, and usually I will shape it to a rounded sort of tip like that. And so now the process begins of shaping all of these nails down to that really nice rounded looking tip. And of course we've got Tony's seal of approval that they're not too long, because I always think they're too long. Now this for me is sometimes the hardest part, because I have to choose which nail color I want. But this time around, I actually have decided what style I'm going for, because these are going to be my maternity photo nails. And we always want to start with a base coat. So we just get that base coat foundation, a very thin coat to cover the entire nail. I'm going to speed through this. Normally I try to do 2 fingers at a time when I can. Or sometimes I'll use 2 LED lights, one that's a little bigger. And now this is the first coat of paint that I've picked. It is a very opaque white glitter. It doesn't show up very well, so I tried to put a decent amount on, but it is very, very, very cute and light and subtle, which is exactly what I'm going for, because the end goal is to have it be very see-through-ish, like this. And of course I want to go in with a second layer of a different color of the exact sort of clear, opaque, white glitter style. I just want to make sure that it's like a white, glittery, shiny look that you can still see through. So that's the goal, and I do think that it is being achieved with these 2 different polishes that I've chosen. So I'm pretty happy, and we'll just speed through that, because the painting process actually does take usually the most time. So that's the hand I haven't done. This is the hand I have done. You can see that one is a little more shiny than the other, and we're just going to pop our top coat on top just to seal it and make it extra glossy. Sadly, just because I'm putting top coat on does not under any circumstances mean that we are done or even close to being done. This is just the first layer of top coat so that I don't make a mess on these nails while I'm trying to do the other hand. So that is all done. We've got that one hand fully finished, and now it's time to get this hand all done. So we've got to go in with that second layer of the clear, opaque, white, sort of glittery polish. And honestly, I feel like this is one of my favorite nail styles that I've done. Like, I've actually been doing my own nails for quite some time, mainly because I have so much nail stuff that it's hard to justify going to get my nails done when I could just as easily do it at my own house. So here we go. We've got the color that I desire. This is not the final look. So now we're getting our extra materials out. So I want to go in and just get the little bit of that clear sheen off of this top coat, because of course, like I said, this is not the final coat. So I'm going to be using these cute butterflies, and I'm just going to be dumping them out onto the desk. Don't mind the desk, it's actually a dresser, and it's a very old hand-me-down dresser, but I'm just going to tap them all out onto the dresser so that I can pick them up easily with my little tool. And look, they're all different shades of pink, and I'm so excited. So I'm going to get my Gelish top coat, and basically I'm just going to take my little tool and I'm going to rub it in the top coat and then just wipe it straight across my nail so that it makes like a very thin layer over top of my nail. I don't want it to be too thick, but I need it to be enough that these butterflies will stick easily. And I'm just choosing at random and also placing at random because I want it to kind of look like the butterflies are like flying around the sky. I don't know. I just kind of had this idea and I decided to go with it. So I'm just picking and choosing and popping them on basically at will, and we're gonna see how it goes. And so once I've got as many butterflies as I want, I will cure it under the light, and then I actually have to do another layer of top coat pretty much immediately, just so that I can seal those butterflies on there. And this is not the last layer of top coat that I will do because the butterflies do kind of stick out a little bit and I want to have a very smooth surface. But this is the goal. This is the desired look. I just want all the butterflies to be placed around the nail, looking like they're all flying in different directions. And so yeah, let's just speed on through this. Now we've got one hand. Ooh, how cute. And again, they are not finished at all by any means. I still have to put another layer or 2 layers of top coat on them to make sure that those butterflies don't stick out at all. I'm not going to show you the many layers of clear coat that I do end up putting on here, but I will just go ahead and finish the second hand so that we can finally get to our desired look. This is our final product, and I went ahead and recorded all of the extra layers of top coat off camera, and so I am now going in with my cuticle oil just around my nail beds, and I am going to make sure that all of the nails are completely covered with that cuticle oil, and then we're just going to rub it in. I don't actually know the purpose of this. I just know that they do it at the nail salon, and I'm salon quality, baby, so I'm making sure that I get it in there too. So it's nice and shiny and pretty. This is the final product, and finally I am finished. So these are my maternity shoot nails, and then hopefully the next video that you see will be my maternity shoot. But I'm really excited. If you made it this far, please make sure to like and subscribe. I can't wait for you guys to see my maternity shoot in the next video, and I think I'll be filming one video in between then and now. But thanks for coming, thanks for watching. I love you guys so much. See ya next video. Bye.